how to protect your energy and protect your time. But then when it comes to boundaries, some boundaries I would recommend is planning around your energy. So we talked a lot about capacity. Sometimes people just think capacity means time frames, like, okay, how many hours do I have to work this day? But I don't recommend that. I recommend thinking about not only just the amount of hours you have, but how energized are you, right? Sometimes when we're energized and we're focused, we can get something done in 30 minutes that would take us 2 hours at 5 o'clock when you just ended work and you're exhausted, right? So we have to also think about where are my energy peaks? Like, I have the most energy, I'm the most excited to do these things. This is when I can do like my best work. And then when does your energy tend to dip?
Corporate life is a game, but no one hands you the rule book. Here on Secrets of the Career Game, we break down the unspoken norms and behind-the-scenes dynamics shaping your career today. I'm Kendall Berg, that career coach, and I guide professionals to grow, advance, and lead with clarity. Each week, we explore the tools, habits, and conversations that build confidence, presence, and long-term momentum.
Guys, today's guest, cannot even tell you how excited I am for this chat because she has lived it. All right. She has run multi-million-dollar campaigns. She has done the corporate thing. She was a high performer herself. She juggled a full-time job, 3 side businesses, and, maybe a personal life on top of that. And she is here to talk to us about time management and being successful without burning out. Welcome to the past, Sade Kelly. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So Sade, why don't you tell listeners who may not be as familiar with your background a little bit about what led you to this point? Because you have had a successful career, you have built successful businesses, you are like the 360 high performer woman. Why don't you kind of get them up to speed on your background and what led you to what you do now?
So I had always been entrepreneurial since I was a kid. I know sometimes that's like a cliche story, but I'm legit been entrepreneurial since I was about 10 years old. And all throughout high school, I knew I was going to go to college. I just didn't know what I was going to do. And eventually I said, I should just go to business school. So I ended up visiting Ithaca College. They had a really cool business school. I said, okay, I'm going to apply there. And while I was there, I really got into like entrepreneurial ventures, starting clubs, starting businesses, doing all the things. And that led me actually to this workshop. I'll never forget. It was like one of those life-changing things in college where this advertiser came in and she was like, I'm looking for kids to be in an internship, and I only accept 2% of people from the colleges I go to. And my ears just pricked up because I'm so competitive. So all I could think was 2% of people get into this. Oh, I'm going to be one of the 2 or whatever percent that they pick from colleges. And I ended up actually getting that internship, of course. And while I was there, I got exposure to some of the top companies. I mean, like I worked with Coca-Cola. I worked with their CMO, like from when I was like, 20 years old. So I got exposure to really cool experiences in advertising. And I thought, this is it. I want to create ads. I want to help people get connected to products that they love and be creative and all the things. So that's when I found out that that was a career. I knew I wanted to be in marketing, but I didn't know advertising would be the way. So I ended up getting into advertising. Once you have an internship like that, I mean, right after my schooling ended, I got like a bunch of different offers. So I went right into advertising. I worked there for about 6 years before I realized like I don't exactly think this is for me, which is very shocking for I'm sure many people. When you're doing a corporate job for so long, you think this is it, this is what you worked for, and then you realize actually I'm not really passionate about this. I feel like I have a bigger purpose. And a big turning point for me was my father passed away in 2019. And after that happened, all I could think about was like there were so many things he still wanted to achieve because he was fairly young. And I thought, well, Sade, like you're doing something you're not even loving. Like, why don't you go after what you really want to do? So that's when I thought, okay, the side businesses I had been doing, we're just not bringing in the bacon, okay? Like Kendall, I was making like barely anything. And I thought, okay, I've been doing networking events. I've been hosting these things. I've been doing e-commerce. I thought I could be an influencer. That didn't really work out either. I mean, I was on the other side of it, so it just was too complicated. And then I realized, oh, why don't I start coaching? Because a lot of the coaches that I would hire to speak at my events kept saying, like, you could do this. You could totally be the one speaking. And I was like, no, that's not me. Like, I just want to facilitate things and bring people together. But I ended up getting a recommendation that I should coach. So I got a couple friends together because they kept asking me, like, how do you make the time for all these things that you're doing? You have these 3 side businesses, you have a job, you got promoted, you have a boyfriend, like, you know, they just thought it was like insane. And I was like, well, I just burned out so many times that I had to figure out how to manage my time well. So I taught them a couple things. Next thing I know, they came back to me and they was like, well, I saved about 4 hours every single day last week. Like, that's 28 hours in a week. It's basically a part-time job. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I could get these girls, like a couple of my friends, these results, then I need to do something with this. And that's when I decided to launch my coaching business in 2020. And I've now been doing it for 5 years.
Sade, you're just like a girl after my own heart, because I'm hearing you talk and I'm like, I work my corporate job. I run that career coach. I have 2 kids. I won a beauty pageant. I did a TED Talk. Like, I'm that person where I'm like, don't worry, we can make time to do all the things. And so I just love having you as a guest, because we're going to jump into the nitty gritty of how we do that, which I just think is so applicable. So you were managing multi-million-dollar campaigns in advertising, running multiple side businesses. Your friends are like, for the love of all that is holy, Sade, teach us how to do this. What did you think that time management should look like back then? And then, like, what is your definition now of how people can really manage their time so that they don't burn out?
Most people feel awkward when they try to network. They don't know what to say, what to ask, or even who they should be meeting with in the first place. That's why you should grab my networking guide. It includes not only how to identify the most influential people across your organization, but also what to talk about to make the time valuable.
Yeah, so back then, I thought time management was all about cramming tasks in as much as I could. So I was so hung up on like hustling and grinding. I mean, I think it was also like the times, like if you're a millennial, you know, it was like a time where there was just like we were all grinding and hustling and trying to do the most and trying to get recognized. And I was obsessed with being like perfect, and I came across as a perfectionist. I thought that was a strength, and I realized very quickly that it wasn't. And it really took me, I would get to the end of my weeks, like on a Friday, and it's almost embarrassing to tell this story, but it really happened. I would be crying from exhaustion, like mental, physical exhaustion. I was just no fun to be around because I looked so productive and effective from the outside, but on the inside, I was just like drowning because I thought this is what I should do. If I'm managing my time well, it means I need to just be doing so much and pushing myself so hard, like what everyone influenced us to do. And then after that, I realized, okay, I work in account management. Like day to day, I literally take these campaigns. Mercedes wants to launch the new CLA. I'm like, I'm building out a campaign. I'm building out all the line items. I'm making sure this person's talking to that person. This team is talking to this team. This client data, everything's organized. If I can do that for these companies, why can't I do that for my own life? So that's really what took me to get there. A lot of what the skills were built in my corporate job, like learning how to project management, manage accounts, communicate effectively. Like all of those things helped me to start working out and finally be fit and finally have time with friends and also manage these side businesses. And that kind of morphed into me seeing time management as the process of just organizing and planning how to divide time between all the different life activities you have going on. And that led me down the route of, okay, if I can manage my time, I should also know how to design my lifestyle, because sometimes you can manage your time really well, but then you don't feel fulfilled because your life and what you're doing is a bunch of different things that don't align with your strengths and what you value and your dreams and what you feel like your purpose is. So somehow combining both of those for me helped me to find freedom, that I could design a life that I wanted. And I always say, like, time management for me and getting really good at this skill and becoming a higher performer was life-changing, because all of a sudden my dreams weren't just dreams anymore. Like, I turned them into goals that had deadlines and a purpose and time constraints and timelines. And I started to see these things come into fruition when I, like, in 5 months of launching my business, I made 3 times my corporate salary. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna leave. And then after I left, I got engaged. And then I got engaged, and then I had a baby. Like, it was just like life started to pan out in ways that showed me, like, you're going in the right direction. So a long way to say, like, that's kind of how time management changed for me over the last, like, I would say, like 6 years.
Love this. I heard a quote a few weeks ago, and I feel like it's so apropos for how you used to manage time. It said, just because you have the capability doesn't mean you have the capacity. And I was like, oh, ouch. Yes. How many things have I signed up for because I know I can, even though I know I shouldn't? And so I love this. And I love this kind of like journey that you went on from, hey, I'm going to cram all these tasks. And yes, I have superb time management, but I have superb time management of too many disparate things rather than like focused and on like who I want to become. So I love it. You know, so many high achieving women and men probably are listening to this and they're like, I feel that. I do everything. I can do everything. I've got the discipline. But they're still tired. Like the number of times I log off work at 5 p.m. and I'm like, dude, I just want to fall face down into a mattress and not talk to anybody, right? So what are some of the biggest time traps that you see, like these smart, ambitious people falling into, but then it's quietly leading them down this like horrible path to burnout?
Yeah, so something I see a lot is kind of what you alluded to, saying yes to everything without an understanding of their actual capacity. And sometimes it comes out of well, I want to be a doer. I want to be known as the person who can do everything. And I want to get this gold star, right? A lot of us were probably those kids that got the gold star, we're top of our classes, you know. So we're so used to excelling that we think we have to do everything in order to excel. And what I see is like sometimes we struggle to differentiate who we are as a person and our worth outside of like what we can accomplish and what we've done in our lives. So that is something I see a lot. I also see people managing their days off a to-do list that's just not prioritized. Like if you just have, you'd be surprised, like the amount of lists I've seen of these women who have like 90 or like 100 items. And I'm like, is this the list for the month, for the quarter, for the year? And they're like, no, this is what I want to get done next week. Like, it's just crazy. So a lot of us have these crazy long to-do lists. We confuse being busy with being productive, and those are totally different things. And many of us are also carrying a mental load, and we're not delegating appropriately because we think we're the best to do it and no one else can do it like us. And another thing I see, I can go on and on, but one last thing I see is people not tracking their progress as well. So a lot of times they're falling off on things. They have the discipline to get started or to get it done when it's down to the wire. But then when it comes to long-term follow through, they struggle and they fall off the wagon and they kind of like dwindle off and then start something new.
If you guys are listening to this and you're not watching on YouTube, my eyes were about the size of a teacup saucer when she said 90 to-dos on 1 week. That's wild. I have 3. I limit myself to like 3 big things I get done every week, and I don't want to talk about nothing else. So I think there's so many good nuggets in what you shared of like, hey, be purposeful and productive with your tasks. Don't just achieve a lot of things, and making sure you're tracking that progress as you move towards your goals. Something that I hear all the time from people that I coach is, well, yeah, I did that, but like I need to do this next thing. Like we don't take time to sit in the, hey, you just achieved this goal you've been working on for 7 months. We're already focused on that next thing, and tracking your progress, seeing that, taking that moment to enjoy. I love all of these because it's so easy, I think, in modern society to carry such a high mental load, to have all these things that we want to do, and you don't feel like you're getting anything from it. You're just doing all day, every day, and it's exhausting. So you help specifically high achieving women, you know, with reclaiming their time, not sacrificing their ambition or their goals, but really like getting that time back. What boundaries or systems do you introduce that make the biggest difference in like protecting their energy while still driving results? What are some of those big hitters that you coach on?
Yeah, so something I wanted to just touch on this before I get into like the boundaries specifically, but something that you said that reminded me of this is like oftentimes burnout doesn't always come from doing too many things. I think that's like the common definition we see online. A lot of times it comes from doing too many things that we are not aligned with or that are not meaningful to us, and doing those things for way too long. So when we're thinking about how we're organizing our tasks, and I love that you were like, I have 3 goals for the week. That's absolutely like a good setup, not like what I've seen for some other clients. Is like, I think for many of us, we need to think about our lives in a larger context. So we need to think about like, okay, this season, maybe this month or this quarter, here's my focuses. And one thing I do with my clients is like, we look at the wheel of life. So if anyone listening isn't familiar with like the wheel of life, it's pretty much looking at all the different life sectors, like personal development, self-care, career, health, love, family, like those things. and scoring them. Like I have my clients score them on a quarterly basis, and we go, okay, is this one a low score, so you want to work on it this season? Is this one a high score, so we just want to maintain? And being able to look at yourself like high level helps you to be able to narrow down your to-do list and your goals in a really effective way. So I guess in a way that's kind of like one of the systems that I would recommend in terms of like how to protect your energy and protect your time. But then when it comes to boundaries, some boundaries I would recommend is planning around your energy. So we talked a lot about capacity. Sometimes people just think capacity means time frames. Like, okay, how many hours do I have to work this day? But I don't recommend that. I recommend thinking about not only just the amount of hours you have, but how energized are you, right? Sometimes when we're energized and we're focused, we can get something done in 30 minutes that would take us 2 hours at 5 o'clock when you just ended work and you're exhausted, right? So we have to also think about where are my energy peaks? Like I have the most energy, I'm the most excited to do these things. This is when I can do like my best work. And then when does your energy tend to dip? Maybe those are the afternoon. Like I know for me, afternoons is when I love to do like podcasts or content or talking to people, something a little less of a mental load versus like something that's going to take like a PowerPoint that creation or like a talking points for something I need to do. Those may be something I do in the morning when I'm more focused. So thinking about planning around your energy is really good. Also not doing reactive scheduling. So what that means is like kind of what we said earlier, like not just saying yes to things without taking a second to think, is this something I actually want to do? Like so many of us don't even think about, is this something I want to do? Is it advantageous to my goals right now? Or am I just saying yes because it's an opportunity? And that leads me into having higher quality commitments versus like a bunch of different things I'm doing that are lower quality that don't actually align with where I'm going right now. Also prioritizing a personal life outside of work. I know for me, I struggle with this so much. Yes, as a high ambitious person, we love work. And sometimes we get it it's a blurry line between passion at work and just passion in life in general. And then we realize, oh, what do we actually like to do? Do I have any hobbies? Do I have friends? When's the last time I talked to a friend? And we forget to have those clear like start and stop times for work and clear and start times for personal life time with our families. Like, especially if you have young kids, like it's really important. You want to have those quality years together. So those are some of the boundaries that I would recommend setting. And then when it comes to systems, I have like my 3 core routine structure that I could briefly go through, but I think this structure works well for everyone, especially high achievers. But having a morning routine, a work routine, and then a night routine. So what those look like, and they can kind of vary per person, but I recommend having a morning routine and having, if you have a family, for instance, like we do, I would recommend having a personal morning routine and then a family morning routine so that you have separate systems for what you're doing in the morning. So maybe for yourself, you like to get up. If you're anything like me, I like to meditate, have time to myself. I like to do some stretching. I like to journal. I like to maybe listen to an audiobook while I'm getting ready. And then I'll go and get the kids, right? That's secondary. And then we do our own routine to get them ready for the day. And then I have a work routine. Many people are not structured at work. And then they just come in, they have meetings, they're reactive. They don't have any context to their days. If you can, I recommend having like a theme for each of your days. On Mondays, I typically do this. On Wednesday, I typically do this. On Friday, I typically do this. And I have meetings during these times. And it kind of helps you to have, this is how I like to spend my mornings on this specific day. This is how I like to spend my lunchtime. This is how I like to spend my afternoons. And then this is how I wrap up my day and make sure I've tied any loose ends or I know what I'm going into the next day. I always say go to sleep with a plan so you can wake up with like a clear purpose. And if you need to adapt, you can. But the goal of it is that you don't go into the day not knowing what you have planned. And then we have your night routine. And it's very similar to the morning routine where you want to have a family night routine. And for me, I'm very strict on like, my personal time starts by 8:15. Everybody needs to be in bed by that time. And then from there, we have our personal night routine, which is usually for me, sometimes I'll pick up work if I have something I want to do at that time, maybe content related or something like that. Or it's just time for me to relax, cook dinner, do whatever I feel like doing in terms of prepping for the next day. That can kind of vary. But I think everybody can have these 3 core routines, and we probably already do, but we just don't have any structure around them. So it feels chaotic and it could be more structured and more intentional.
Yeah. I want to have like 3 hours with you just to dive into all the things you just shared that were so good because like Sade, you're speaking my language. One of the things I think is really interesting that you mentioned that I haven't heard other people talk about much, but I've definitely talked about on the podcast before is I do what I call day blocking instead of time blocking. Because I don't think time blocking works when you're super busy, right? Because somebody's going to schedule a meeting. It's not in your perfect 2-hour zone for meetings. Then you're all thrown off. It messes you up. But I do thematic days. Like, hey, I do my content on Mondays. I do clients on Tuesdays. I do podcast on Wednesdays or whatever the flow is. And I find that that helps your mental load a lot because I'm not thinking about content until Monday because it's not a Tuesday problem. It's a Monday problem. And I think there's so much in those thematic days in helping high performers manage burnout, helping you carry heavy mental load, structuring your time, right? The more senior you get, every senior exec I've ever worked with goes, well, Kendall, when am I supposed to carve out time to think about my strategy? I'm like, well, that's literally the number one most important part of your job. So you better find some time. Like, are Fridays slow for you? Maybe it's Fridays, maybe it's Mondays, but like you better carve time for that. So I do think that that's something you touched on that I just want to reiterate to listeners is like having those themes for your days and planning them ahead of time is so helpful. Like I'm a 9 o'clock, I review my schedule for the next day person because I know I'm going to be up at 5 and I want to be ready and I want to know what my day looks like and I don't want to be running around like a chicken with their head cut off. So I think that those are so many good tactical tips for people who are listening. Like if you're listening to this on a drive, pull over, take some notes on your phone, like get your notebook handy because I love this. I do think these are so important. And for people who are listening who are like, okay, I'm busy. Maybe I'm doing some of these things. Maybe I have a morning routine. Maybe I don't have a work routine. Maybe I don't have days, but like I'm busy, but they don't feel fulfilled. They don't feel like, okay, I'm marching in a direction. I've got purpose. I've got clarity. Like what is something that they could do this week if we're like, all right, it's a Monday morning. This is what you're going to change this week that's going to help them still feel like they're making success. They're still moving in a good direction, but they're really starting to like balance that with their well-being.
Yes. So my favorite thing is to set up a meeting with yourself, right? And treat it like a true meeting, like you're meeting with someone important because you are meeting with one of the most important people in your life, yourself. So this is a meeting that I would recommend you repeat weekly. And I'm sure, Kendall, you're probably already doing this. But for me, on Sundays, I love to plan. And you can pick whatever day you want. I know for some of my clients, I like to plan on like a Friday because typically it's like a lighter day for them and they don't want to do it on the weekend. But pick one day to meet with yourself. And then I'm going to tell you what you're going to do during the meeting so you're not just like, do I just plan my week? And do I just create these themes out of nowhere? No. So during this meeting, all I want you to do is start off with a brain dump. And this is where you are maybe a sheet of paper. I like to do it written. I think you can get more out written, but there are also ways in which you could do it digitally where you can like speak into something and it can organize it for you. But let's say you're doing a written list and you're just going to write like week of December 1st and you're just writing out all the things you would like to accomplish. Like not just the things you need to do, but what do you want to do? Like what would fill you up? What would energize you? What would excite you in your personal life, in your work life, in your business, you know, whatever categories apply to you. There's nothing too big or too small. Just get everything out. Once you've gotten everything written out, I want you to look at the list and make sure it aligns with your actual goals. So for a lot of the women that I used to work with or that I've worked with in the past, they'll have these long lists like I was mentioning, and a lot of them will get a lot done. I mean, you'd be surprised. I work with people who are really high performers, but then they're not fulfilled because a lot of the items they're getting done are for others, or they're not really for themselves, and they're not tied to what they actually want to achieve. And then they're like, I'm not on track with my goals for 2025, but you're getting all these things done and you're seeing success, but it's just not in the areas that mean the most to you. So this does take a bit of like knowing yourself and being self-aware. And for some of us, we don't take the time to think about, well, what do I like now? Do I like this? I don't like the same things I liked when I was 22, right? Like I've changed and I've grown and I've evolved. So who am I now as a person? And what do I actually enjoy, and do these tasks align with that? And then after you've taken the time to reflect on that, I want you to go in and just prioritize. And this is where people get stuck because they think everything is important and urgent. Everything is not important and urgent. And if you think everything's important and urgent, you will get nothing done. So think about it like this. If you only could do one thing on Monday, what would that thing be? And then go through your days just like that. And then of course, if you have themes for your days, then that'll help you filter where everything should go and then prioritize based off each day. And then the last thing is just to schedule it in. So that can look like whatever you like to use. Some people like paper planners, which I have some clients who like that. Other people like to use digital tools. I like this tool called Sunsama, which I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's an amazing tool. And what it is kind of like a digital Kanban board. If you're familiar with like project management boards, this is board called Kanban boards. And they let you line out all your items, your prioritized items, and you can put like sub items into everything. You can set the time capacity for each item. So it helps you to see like, okay, if these are your top priorities for Monday and here's how much time you're allocating to it, here's how much time you actually have to do the thing. So it helps you to not overschedule yourself. So that's why I really like this tool, and it helps you to plan out things in a certain way and repeat tasks as needed. But you can kind of figure out which way you want to schedule things in. But that will be the last piece of this. And sometimes when people first sit down to do this, it takes them a bit longer than they would like. But I promise you, over time, as you take the time to think through, reflect, and plan, you'll work with more strategy. So like you were mentioning, a lot of leaders need to be thinking, they need to be strategizing, they want to approach their life with an actual strategy that works for them. And this is a great way to tangibly do that.
Sade, I just want to be best friends. I'm like, this is how I run my whole life. I love this. No, it's so good because there's so many nuggets. I'm hoping that people listening to this are just loving it as much as I am, because there's so much truth in what you're saying of like, if you're not planning, if you're not managing your capacity, if you don't know what your priorities are, you're going to be busy forever and you're never going to feel like you're getting where you want to go. So there's so much goodness in what you're sharing. So if people are listening to this and they're like, all right, Sade has sold me, I need to take control of my time management, where should people go if they want to follow your content, learn more about you, work with you for coaching? What's the best place?
Yeah, so you can find me on every social media platform at Sade Kelly _. I'm most active on LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. And then you can also find me on my website, thefireinsidesade.com. And if you want to see if working together would be a good fit, I always recommend booking a coaching consultation call. We'll get on, we'll talk about like your goals, where you're at and where you want to be, and then we'll come up with a package that fits you.
I love this. So we will link all of that in the show notes for you guys. If you loved today's episode as much as I did, make sure you leave us 5 stars. If you have any questions for Sade or myself, put them in the comments below. Otherwise, Sade, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us. I cannot wait for this to drop, and we'll definitely have to have you back.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to hear what all of you guys listening think.